Hi, my name is Dejanae, and my personal project is about racial stereotypes. I just want to talk about what's going on in the world right now. Racial discrimination and stereotypes is such a big thing worldwide. The death of George Floyd was very unfortunate and very preventable. I am a young black girl living in America and I am scared, and I shouldn't have to be. I have three younger brothers that will grow to be black men. I don't want there to be a day where they don't come home for something so simple as playing in the park with their friends, asking for directions, or just sitting in their car, even going for a jog. You say you feel threatened. By what? My skin color? The only thing that divides us as people is our skin tone. When you see me, smile. I am more than my color. For those of you who don't know, being racially stereotyped means automatic and exaggerated mental pictures that we hold about all members of a particular racial group. When we stereotype people all based off of race, we don't take into account individual differences. Stereotypes were relevant in the 20th centuries. Half the people around you have been stereotyped more than one time in their lifespan. Racial stereotypes happens to all different cultures, not just African American people. I want to show you guys an interview that I did with Trisha. Sadly, I did not record, but I took very good notes to get her voice heard. That was Trisha, and Trisha is a Pacific Islander. She gets made fun of a lot because of her culture. People think that the food that she eats smells and looks weird. This makes Trisha sad because Trisha doesn't make fun of people and the food that they eat. It also makes Trisha feel self-conscious not to bring food out. Don't be biased over someone else's cultural cuisine. Everyone should be educated on different cultures, religions, and have an open mind. Commercials should have different ethnicities and cultural cuisines to shed light on different cultural foods. Trisha is a wonderful person and is going to school to become a doctor, and she just has one message for the world to hear.
Smile, I'm more than my color.
Being racially stereotyped can really change a person. It can make you build walls, it can change the way you communicate with others, and it's very unhealthy. A good way to help people who have been stereotyped and don't know how to deal with it is to build a community hotline for people to be able to express their feelings. I'm here with my dad.
Markel Rankins.
What do you think, what is your race?
I'm Puerto Rican and black.
Okay. What do you think being racially stereotyped means?
You can go in all different kind of directions. It could be your skin color, the clothes that you choose to wear, and just from what people hear and what they see on television.
Do you think that stereotypes can be healthy?
It depends. It depends. If there's more education about being racially stereotyped, you know, classes, communities coming together, neighbors that live next door to each other or whatnot, just communities coming all together and just, coming as one and speaking. And, just taking care of, the racism that's in the community or in the neighborhood.
Okay. When do you think that racial stereotypes started?
Years before I was born. I know that much.
Okay. What age did you start recognizing racial stereotypes?
I would say between the age of 29 to 31. I mean, I've been called the N-word and everything like that, but, never to the extreme of to when I got into, my later 20s and going into my, starting my early 30s.
Okay. Have you ever been racial stereotyped before?
Yes.
Do you have a story?
Yes.
Would you like to share it with us?
Well, actually, it happened today. And I was going to the grocery store to buy some seafood, and I was in line, and there's a gentleman, and I didn't know at this time this was his fiance or wife, and she was pregnant. And basically he walks up in front of me. You know, the guy behind the register assists him, and I'm like, you know, we make eye contact, and he's like, "What's up? Is everything okay?" So for me being a black American, I'm kind of baffled and I'm puzzled because I'm the next person in line, and this guy was never in line from the start. So we had a confrontation as far as in words being exchanged. Of course, he made a scene in the store. I didn't bite because, you know, normally that's what, you know, happens up here in Seattle, that we would be the aggressive ones. The black African Americans or the black American would be called the aggressive one because we're defending ourselves as far as in what took place. So with that being said, you know, there wasn't anything that continued afterwards. You know, we just went on about our way.
Okay. How did that make you feel?
Angry, number one. Number two, there was nothing that I could really just do about it because this where I was at, you know, the area that I was at. It wasn't about, you know, going into anger or, you know, violence or anything like that. It was more of, let's have a conversation. And that kind of took place, but it didn't. So he just, you know, jumped in his car, and then he, you know, they left and I left. So there was never, you know, it was never solved or anything of that nature. So, you know, it's just a thing of sometimes you have to learn how to, as they say, swallow the pill. And that's what I ended up doing. It's better to be free than to be in someone's jail. So I chose the better option of being free than being in someone's jail because I knew I was in the right from the start. So with that being said, you know, it really, you know, for me, it's not up for discussion. Well, once it comes to that matter, once it's said and done, it's over with. So I just, you know, I let it go, came home, and I cooked the meal for my family.
Can you justify the term swallow a pill for the viewers that don't know?
Well, swallow a pill is basically saying, you know, like take one for the team, you know, like, yeah, basically, you know, take one for the team. That's how I can sum it up.
Okay. What can we do to solve this problem and move forward as a community?
Like I said before, you know, start educating our young, explaining to them what's right from wrong. That, you know, racism is, you know, that should be abolished. It shouldn't be tolerated, and everyone should be treated fair and equal, no matter what your skin color is or what your sexual preference is. You should never be judged like that because there's only one judge, and that's God that's above. And I don't know if everybody believes in God, but I know that everyone believes in something. And racism is not it, that you should not believe in. And that's just my opinion, my view.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for doing this interview with me. It doesn't matter how young or old we are, everyone gets stereotyped. And that's what I really wanted to show in my video. Different age groups and their different experiences. Another interview that I did was with Shelby. Being racially stereotyped can really stop a lot of things for you in life. It can stop you from getting a job. It can stop you from buying a house, an apartment, being able to buy food for your kids, being able to provide and do things in the world. Not every race can do certain things in the world because it gets taken out of account because a lot of people already prejudge you, and it's really not fair and it's not right. I did another interview with my mom, Jessica. Hi guys, this is interview number 3 with Jessica. Yes, my mother. So, what is your race?
African American. Well, I identify with African American. It's majority of what I have in me. But I have a lot of races in me.
Okay. What do you think being racially stereotyped means?
I feel like it means somebody is choosing to God, I'm tired. Okay. I feel like it means people choose to think of you in a negative light before they know you.
Okay. What do you mean in a negative light?
Like
why?
Say if a person has an experience with another person, and then they come across you, and just because you're the same race or same gender or same whatever of that other person, they're gonna feel threatened, or they're gonna feel some type of way towards you without getting to know you.
Okay. I agree with that. Good answer.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you think that other people's opinions can be changed by other people's beliefs or things that have happened to them?
Yeah, that happens every day. I mean, if you look at social media and people post what they feel and their beliefs on there, that changes a lot of people's minds about perception, about different views. They be like, oh, well, I thought this. Well, maybe now I have a different perspective of it, so they might change their opinion of it.
Yeah. Okay. What's your story? Have you ever been racially stereotyped?
Yeah, all the time. Being a black woman in America is not easy. Especially if you have kids. Oh, it's even harder. You are stereotyped depending on how many kids you have. You are stereotyped if you have more than one father. You are stereotyped if you're not working, or if you are working, what type of job you have. As soon as people find out I have 5 kids, they're like, how do you pay for all that? And I mean, well, I pay for each person. Like, that don't make no sense, you know? And what does it matter how I'm maintaining in my life as long as I'm maintaining? I'm not asking you what you doing. You know what I mean? So, like, just being a woman and being an African-American woman, I get it all the time.
Why do you think they made that comment?
What?
That, how do you maintain, or how do you, pay for your children?
Because the stigma of being black and being on welfare and not having money, or being on Section 8, or being, getting food stamps. People think that all African Americans are on that, and that's just what they do, and that's not the case. I work hard every day. And I make sure you guys have everything that you need. So it just frustrates me when people ask me that.
How did that make you feel?
Irritated. I mean, I really don't even get angry no more, because there's no point in getting angry. It's like, that's just their ignorance, and I've just come to terms with that. They can be ignorant on their own. I ain't got time for it.
So that's how you cope with it?
I don't cope with anything, because I don't need to. They're ignorant, not me. So I don't cope with anything. I worded that wrong. I don't have to cope with other people's ignorance, because I don't be in their presence.
Yeah.
You should probably ask their friends and their moms and their coworkers, how do you cope with this person?
But what can we do to fix the problem of being racially stereotyped in our communities and the generation that we live in now?
Oh man, I feel like raising awareness, especially with the younger generation. People are not born hating a certain color or a certain religion or a certain gender. Those are things that are being instilled, and those are things that are being taught to them, whether it's on social media, whether it's in their household, whether it's by their influence from other friends. I just feel like if we do more in our community, raising awareness, barbecues, and keeping our youth what's the word I'm looking for? Not busy, but keeping them occupied with things other than negativity. I feel like that will help our community.
Okay. So you believe that there could be change?
Oh, absolutely. Everybody changes. You know, I have this theory that everybody changes every 7 years. Like literally, from time you're born to 7 years old, you're not the same person. By the time you're 7 to 14, you're not the same person. By the time you're 14 to 21,
Yeah.
think about that. Anyway, by the time you're 14 to 21, you're not the same person, so on and so forth, and up until you, even at my age, I'm not the same person I was at 30.
Yeah, I agree. Your mind changes and
You grow.
there's always room for growth.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, guys, that's it for this interview. Thank you for sitting down with Mom. That's in the video.
Sorry.
Thanks for sitting down with me and doing this interview with me. And guys,
Thanks,
just
guys.
remember, smile.
I'm not only my color. Or was I supposed to say I'm more than my color?
Yes.
Oh, I'm more than my color.
Okay, no. Because racial stereotypes are so harmful, we should make a real commitment in the community to change. We could do block parties, community lunches, carnivals, classes based on different cultures. If we really want there to be a real change, we all have to try and have to have an open mind. I just wanted to reflect on my personal experience of being racially stereotyped. The first time that I was ever racially stereotyped was at the age of 14. I was in the store with my friends and we were all in there on an intent to buy something. And the worker lady just kept coming up to us asking if we were finding everything okay. Do we need any help? Like, at first it was very like, oh no, like we're fine, like we're finding everything okay. But then like she just kept doing it. It was like she was following us around the store. Then she was talking to her worker friends and they just started staring at us. It really didn't make me feel good and it really hurt my feelings because one, I paid for something. Two, why would you think that of a person? Was I giving off stealing vibes or I don't know. I feel like she thought I was going to steal something or me and my friends were going to steal something because of the color of our skin. I feel like one bad apple should not boil the whole bunch because there is so much more to a person than their skin tone. Just because you had a bad experience with one person or multiple people of the same skin color as mine doesn't mean that I'm in that same category as them. Everyone is different. Everyone has different personalities and we should all recognize that. Being racially stereotyped does not make you feel good. And it's not something you should have to grow up coping to and getting used to. It's really not. If everyone got to know you for you and not your color, there would be less suicides. The world would be like such a more healthy and happier place because you're not being judged or not walking around with a label on your back because of the color of your skin. Everyone would be united in a whole and not be put into groups that society wants you to be in. So we should all take that into account. And as a community and a whole, it starts with you. Fix yourself so that everyone can come together and fix it as a whole. It has to be addressed and it has to be stopped because no one should ever have to feel like they're not worthy enough or put into a specific group or feel like they can't even go shopping without someone thinking that they're doing something that they're not. Thank you so much for watching my presentation and I hope you really enjoyed learning from it.